Once upon a time, in a faraway kingdom, lived a wise and just king. This king was blessed with 10 beautiful daughters. Their names were a rainbow of colors. Princess Jamb, the eldest, followed by Princess Jinganila Haijau, Anggu, Kelabu, Biru, Oranye, Merah Merona, and the youngest, Princess Kuning. However, their joy was incomplete. The queen had tragically passed away while giving birth to her youngest child, Princess Kuning. Overwhelmed by the duties of his kingdom, the king found himself spending less and less time with his children. The 10 princesses were raised by nannies, and without their father's guidance, they grew into spoiled young women who were always bickering and fighting amongst themselves. All except for one, the youngest, Princess Kuning, was different. She was gentle and kind, never joining in her sister's quarrels. She preferred her own company, finding joy in solitude and simple things. One day, the king announced he was leaving for a journey. Before he departed, he gathered his daughters. "I will be away for a short while." A sighed warmly. "Is there anything you desire?" Immediately, 9 voices chimed in. The older princesses began listing expensive gifts, gleaming jewelry, luxurious silk fabrics, and rare perfumes. Their demands filled the air, but when the king turned to his youngest, Princess Kuning simply shook her head. "I don't want anything, father," she said softly. "I only wish for your safe return." A smile touched the king's lips. He was deeply moved by his youngest daughter's selfless love and simple wish. He gave her a gentle nod before setting off on his travels, his heart warmed by her words. While the king was away, the behavior of the 9 older princesses grew worse. They treated the palace like their personal playground. Days were spent in frivolous fun, and they ordered the royal servants around without a second thought, treating them harshly. They demanded constant attention, leaving the palace staff exhausted and overworked. During this time, Princess Kuning wandered into her father's favorite garden. Her heart sank when she saw its state. The once beautiful and pristine garden was now neglected and dirty. The servants were too busy catering to her sister's every whim to tend to it. Without a moment's hesitation, Princess Kuning decided to clean it herself. She pulled weeds, swept fallen leaves, and watered the flowers, slowly restoring the garden to its former glory. Her sisters noticed her working, but instead of offering to help, they gathered to mock her. "Look at our little sister!" One of them sneered. "She looks like a common servant." They laughed cruelly, calling her their new maid. Their taunts didn't stop there. To be even more spiteful, they began throwing their trash into the very garden she had just cleaned. They tossed fruit peels and wrappers onto the neat flower beds, creating more work for her. Princess Kuning felt a pang of sadness, but she didn't argue. With quiet determination, she simply cleaned up their mess all over again, her love for her father giving her strength. She wanted the garden to be perfect for his return. A few days later, the king returned. He brought with him an array of wonderful gifts for his daughters, just as he had promised. He presented the 9 older princesses with the expensive jewels and silks they had requested. Then, he called for Princess Kuning. Even though she had asked for nothing, he had not forgotten her. He presented her with a small, beautifully wrapped box. Inside was a stunning necklace made of brilliant green stones that shimmered like dewdrops in the morning sun. It was the most beautiful thing Princess Kuning had ever seen. She thanked her father profusely, her eyes shining with happiness. However, one of her sisters, Princess Haija, whose name meant green-watched, with a heart full of envy. She couldn't stand that their father had given Kuning such a special gift, especially when she hadn't even asked for one. Jealousy consumed her. She quickly gathered her other sisters and began to whisper poisonous words. "Look at that necklace," she hissed. "I'm sure she didn't get it as a gift. She must have stolen it from father's travel bag when he wasn't looking." The other sisters, already spoiled and prone to cruelty, readily believed her. They decided together that Princess Kuning needed to be taught a lesson. They would take the necklace from her. The 9 sisters cornered Princess Kuning in the palace hall. They surrounded her, their faces twisted with anger. "Give us the necklace," Princess Haija demanded. "It doesn't belong to you, thief." Princess Kuning clutched the precious gift from her father, shaking her head in terror. "No, father gave this to me," she cried. But her sisters wouldn't listen. They lunged at her, trying to rip the necklace from her neck. A struggle ensued in the chaos as they violently pulled and shoved. One of them accidentally struck Princess Kuning hard on the head. She collapsed to the floor, motionless. The necklace fell from her grasp, its green stones scattering across the marble. The sisters froze in horror. They had not meant to go this far. Panic set in. They realized what they had done. Their beloved youngest sister was gone, and it was their fault. Terrified of their father's wrath, they made a dreadful decision. Under the cover of darkness, they took Princess Kuning's body to the garden, the very garden she had so lovingly tended. There they buried her, hiding their terrible secret beneath the soft earth. Not a single one of them spoke a word about what had happened. When the king asked where Princess Kuning was, they lied, saying she had run away. Months passed. The king was heartbroken. He sent search parties far and wide, but no trace of his youngest daughter could be found. He spent many sad hours walking through his favorite garden, feeling her absence with every step. The palace, once filled with the sound of 10 daughters, now felt empty and silent. One day, while walking in the garden, the king noticed something unusual. In the exact spot where his daughter was buried, a strange and beautiful plant had sprouted. It grew quickly, and soon it bloomed with small, delicate yellow flowers. But what was most remarkable was its scent. A wonderfully sweet and fragrant aroma filled the air around it, a scent that was both comforting and enchanting. The king felt an inexplicable connection to this mysterious plant. He tended to it every day, watering it and caring for it as if it were a precious treasure. The plant reminded him of his lost daughter, of her kindness and her bright spirit. In her memory, he decided to name the plant after her. He called it Kuning, a name that echoes the golden yellow of its flowers and the beloved name of his lost princess, Kuning. And so, the legend says, the Kuning plant stands as an eternal reminder of the gentle princess whose kindness continues to bloom and spread its sweet fragrance throughout the world. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this story, please like, share, and subscribe for more tailies from around the globe.